We're live.
Yeah! Woo, woo, woo.
Oh my gosh. 24 minutes later, 25. And we are officially live.
If you are tuning in, I'm so sorry for the delay. Technical issues that plagued us last time decided to multiply, and we got Ryan Miller here. We got our first guest. Welcome, Ryan.
Woo, woo. What's up?
Fit Health. Besides complaining about technological issues, we're going to be talking about a very important subject today. We're going to be talking about health insurance, which doesn't have a whole lot of sexy entertainment appeal.
I feel like we just have to start right away by saying 20 minutes later, we get this thing up and running, right? All the technological issues that went into getting this thing live. Okay, so
I don't want to talk about it.
No, I do, because check this out. Check this out. We are moving at this crazy rapid pace, right? We're like, we have more technology in the palm of our hand than, people 10 years ago had in like the entire world. And we have all these tools, Google's available to us, and it's so freaking hard to figure out. And it's constantly broken, right? There's constantly things getting messed up.
Why are we talking about this? Please tell me there's a point.
Because there is healthcare.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh,
leave it to Ryan to tie everything, bring everything around 360.
You want authenticity? This is authenticity.
Without further ado, Ryan has a really awesome product that he's developed called Fit Health.
Really briefly, give us a background about like your work history and lead us into how you developed Fit Health.
Yeah. So in 2015, I went to work for an independent regional insurance broker in Southern California. That was my first delve into health insurance, employee benefits, healthcare. Other than holding an insurance card in my hand, like every one of us in Southern California did for the longest time, I really had no idea what that was, right? And then whenever I had to go to the doctor. It didn't take me long to realize what a disaster healthcare as a whole was.
And so just for a second, because I want to make sure that when we're talking about this, like people understand terms. So we joked about this the other day yesterday when I was in here, but typically if I was to ask you, who is your healthcare provider? Your answer would probably be Kaiser, Anthem, Blue Shield. Now, Kaiser is a kind of, but those are not your healthcare providers. Those are your health insurance companies. And health insurance companies do nothing more than manage the financial impact of whatever interaction you have with the doctor. And at the end of the day, we want them all to be supportive of the consumer, not competing with them, but they're not, because everybody is in it to make money. And I'm a capitalist at heart. I believe that everybody has a right to make money with integrity and done the right way. But I saw this mess that was happening. Anyway, so 3 years later, I resigned from that job for a whole host of reasons. But I wanted to stay involved in the industry. I was involved in CrossFit. I saw how many people were proactively caring for themselves, being somewhat considerate of what they did to their body externally, what they put into their body. And I thought to myself, why are those people being penalized? For the everyday person that's being proactive, you don't need health insurance. You absolutely do not need it. And so that was my first jump into it. I partnered with an organization called Sedera Health, which is one of the largest medical cost-sharing companies in the country. We can talk about that later.
Absolutely.
And off we went. And along the way now, 2 years later, I've been partnering with direct primary care doctors, obviously like yourself, which obviously, our family's a member here too, but partnering with direct primary care doctors, CrossFit gyms, other functional medicine doctors, as well as some other ancillary services to help people to mitigate those costs, so to bring them down, all the while helping them to stay on a track towards fitness, not just health.
So I wanted to ask you, what are your top 3 least favorite statements that people make about health insurance?
So number one is my health insurance will take care of it. And I say that because, and everybody needs to hear this, though you hold an insurance card, though you are a member of that insurance company, they are not the responsible payer. At the end of the day, when you go to the doctors, when you get a surgery, you are signing over the fact that you are the responsible payer, which is why we're seeing balance billing be such a huge issue. You go to the doctors, you get a bill, insurance company picks up a portion, you get a $50,000 bill as a result of it. So that's number one. I hear that so much, And it is not true. The insurance company is not responsible to pay your bills. All they are responsible to do is pay a fair portion, which we know what's happened there. Number 2 issue is I hear people all the time say, well, I'm healthy, I don't need to go to the doctor. And that is a huge problem. You know, we were talking yesterday, right? Like we know somebody that has a small spinal fracture, and if they weren't proactively going to you to take a look at that, to help detect an issue like that, eventually that is going to become a massive surgery, if not a life-changing and transforming issue, right?
Absolutely.
And so don't be a champion. Go to the doctor. Proactivity is necessary. I think those are the 2 biggest ones. And then the third one I will say and affirm what you said earlier, which is your employer is not paying for your insurance. You have to understand your employer, they manage a business, which means they have profit and loss. They have to generate revenue in order to pay out their expenses and have some kind of money left over. That being the case, they are providing your benefits, but there's a cost. That's your total cost of compensation. So it's coming out of your money anyway. And so just to think that, well, my employer is covering it, they're not. You really are. And every single time that our insurance continues to go up, or your insurance, I don't have it, every time your insurance continues to go up, that's costing you more and more money.
Right. We'll both acquiesce and level with you on. It's confusing. Healthcare, it almost intentionally by design, right? And a great article Ryan and I were talking about yesterday, and I'll flash it up here on the screen, is in one recent poll is that only 4% Americans actually understand the key 4 concepts. And we were talking about like the most rudimentary level of understanding of health insurance. And if that few of Americans actually understand it, then what's the ability then of the average American to really utilize health insurance correctly?
Yeah, well, or purchase it.
Or even their utilization of healthcare resources. Their
Right.
perception is that, oh, insurance pays for everything. I have really good insurance. I have a low copay. Well, good for you if you have a low copay, but you're basically paying money in premiums to pay more money in copays and
Right.
co-insurance and imaging copays and lab copays. Thanks for coming in. It's always, this is how most of our conversations go. It's just this righteous indignation. We just get all fired up. But we hope that this has been an educational component. Please feel free to reach out. You can follow Ryan over at Fit Health, both on Facebook and Instagram, and very responsive. If you ever have any questions, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you for your insight. And then obviously, guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And we will see you next time for our next video. Take care.
Thank you. Like you said something and we were running low on time, so I didn't jump on it. But, you know, it's the whole idea of like, what else can we do to prevent attracting these diseases or contracting these diseases? Like, you know, they're saying that so many of these people had vitamin D deficiency. It's like, hey, get outside, right? Like simple things that we're not considering. But again, if I don't have proactive accountability and education with a doctor, in a fitness facility, a coach, something, I don't even know where to start. And that's, I think, that is actually the biggest problem. It's the same problem I face in my business, which is, I don't know what I don't know. And so I'm gonna do what either the general population says or what I'm comfortable with. Those can both be okay, but those aren't ultimately the solution. Someone needs to sit with you, understand where you're at, what you've gone through, what your tolerance is like, where you want to go, and then create a plan, right, to that. And people just don't take that time. That's why I think for you, it's just gonna take more and more communication, more and more indoctrination into like, one side is all the education of kind of like who you are and what you do. The other is what's possible for them. And then, you know, just other things that are gonna keep them up on it.